Hey guys, Jesse Wright. I'm back making another real estate investing video. It's been a couple years since I've made a video. I try to only post videos when I have something important to say, something that I feel like will be valuable. And so instead of just loading up my channel with a bunch of junk, I try to only put things out that are relevant and important. This video is about different types of deeds. Three types of deeds in particular. The most common, I would say, general warranty deed, a special warranty deed, and a quitclaim deed. And what the differences are between these deeds and when you would utilize each of them. So the most common type of deed that you're going to run into is a general warranty deed. A general warranty deed is a guarantee from the seller to the buyer that the property that is being sold is owned free and clear by the current owner and will be owned free and clear by the buyer. There will be no liens, there will be no judgments, no encumbrances. Of course, there may be some easements, but that will have to be excluded from the warranty. So if you are a brand new investor, one of the easiest things that you can do to help protect yourself is to make sure that if you can't get a general warranty deed, then you're just not going to buy the property. Now, I buy all types of properties, and the more knowledgeable you become as a real estate investor, the more often you'll come across certain situations where it will be good for you to buy deeds that might have something going on with it that would prevent the current owner from giving you a general warranty deed. We'll talk about that more here in a minute. The second type of deed is a special warranty deed. A special warranty deed is almost the same thing as a general warranty deed. The only difference is if I were selling a property with a special warranty deed, I would only be guaranteeing that the property did not incur any new judgments, liens, encumbrances, so on and so forth, during the period of time that I owned the property. And if there were any kind of judgments or so on and so forth that were incurred during the period of time that I owned the property, then I have taken care of those things. That is what a special warranty deed is. And what it excludes would be things like anything that happened before I owned it. So if I owned the property, but before I owned it, let's just say I bought it from somebody, everything looked good, it passed a title search, I was even able to get title insurance on the property, but later, after I had sold it with my special warranty deed, later it came to light that, say, the previous owner didn't fully own the property. As a matter of fact, there was an entire other heir. And so even though he sold me the property and even though I got title insurance, there's now still a title issue. However, since I gave a special warranty deed, that special warranty is only that it is not going to have any kind of new liens, encumbrances, judgments, so on and so forth attached to it from the point that I took possession of the property. The things that happened before I took possession of it are excluded from that warranty. So this brings up the second important lesson here, and that would be to always get title insurance. Let's just say I did sell a property with a special warranty deed. If I had actually gotten title insurance on the property, or the person buying the property from me had gotten title insurance on the property, then any kind of issues that arose because of some sort of problem that was missed in the title search previously, done before we sold the property, the title insurance would cover those issues. A good rule of thumb is, when you're buying a property, try to buy it with a general warranty deed. When you're selling a property, try to sell it with a special warranty deed. That way you're kind of covering your bases if something happened and, even the title insurance, even the title search did not find any kind of issues. It's still good to just sell a property with a special warranty deed, and it's really better probably for everybody. All right, so the last type of deed that we're going to talk about is a quitclaim deed. Quitclaim deed is literally just that. If I quit my claim to this deed, to this property, to someone, then I'm saying, hey, whatever ownership that I have in this property, I'm getting rid of it and I'm conveying it to you, the buyer. Now, If Mary dies and she has 12 sons, one of those sons is named John, and John comes to me and says, hey, my mom died, she left me this property, I can sell it to you for $50,000, but I'm gonna have to give you a quitclaim deed. That's a red flag, right? What I would find out if I did a title search was that John doesn't completely own the property. There are 11 other heirs. So even if John gave me a quitclaim deed, which he could legally do, he could legally give me a quitclaim deed, I would only be a 1/12 owner of that property. That would not be a good investment, right? The only way that would be a good deal is if I went to the other 11 heirs and they also gave me a quitclaim. And even then there would be some issues that we have to work through. But essentially, that is what a quitclaim is. I could give anybody right now a quitclaim deed to the White House, and it would be a legal document that wouldn't mean squat for the person that I gave the quitclaim deed to, because I would just be quitting my claim to the White House. Well, I don't have a claim to the White House, right? So, you really have to be careful with these types of deeds. Now, when are these deeds something you should entertain? Well, I'll give you two examples. A couple years ago, I bought a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house for $6,000. And this house was owned by somebody that had a huge judgment against him. And because he had a huge judgment against him, it got attached to the property. Because of that, until he either pays that judgment off or the judgment just falls off, which sometimes it will do after 7 years, I could never get title insurance on that property, which means I could never sell it with a general warranty deed or a special warranty deed even, because, I could sell it with a special warranty deed, but the person buying it would not be able to get title insurance, so it would not be a marketable title. I could sell it with a quitclaim deed, but again, anytime you sell with a quitclaim deed, that normally means that there's some sort of issue with the title, and because of that, you're usually talking about selling at a discounted rate. But for me, it was a good purchase because, buy it for $6,000, put another $12,000 into it, and it's currently rented for $825 a month. So it was still a great purchase. I don't need to go to a bank and pull my money out of it, which is something I would not be able to do without title insurance. I don't need to, sell it. I can just hang on to it. $18,000 in a property that's rented out for $825 a month is a great deal. Another situation that I just recently ran into, I had this house that somebody had been trying to sell to me for a while. It was through a wholesaler. Originally, they told me they wanted $60,000 for the house. At the time, it was rented out to a Section 8 tenant for like $900 a month. It was a 4-bedroom house. The ARV on it was actually great. It was over $100,000, but that was more than I wanted to pay at the time, and so I kept negotiating down over the course of several months. Finally got it under contract for around $30,000, and then we pulled a title search. And when we pulled a title search, we found out that the person selling it, what they had really acquired was a tax deed, meaning they had bought it from someone who won it through the tax foreclosure process. And the problem with that particular type of deed is, unless you spend an extra $3,000 to $5,000 on a title confirmation, there is a cloud on that title. And if I bought it from him that way, I would not be able to get title insurance. I wouldn't be able to take out a loan against the property unless it was private money. And I wouldn't be able to sell the property and convey title insurance. I wouldn't be able to give a marketable title without spending that $3,000 to $5,000 getting the title confirmation. And there was no guarantee that I could get the title confirmation. The reason for this is that in Mississippi, where I invest and where I live, where I sell turnkey rental properties as well, when a property is foreclosed for taxes in the state of Mississippi, the county is required to do 3 things. They're required to post a notice in the newspaper, they're required to send certified mail, and they're required to hand deliver a notice to the person that owns the property saying that they're going to be foreclosed on for taxes. And the problem is that just never happens. So there is a chance, even though it's a very slight chance, that the previous owner could come back and say, hey, we were never given proper notice. They could spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer, they could pay all the back taxes, and then they could get the property back. And so with this particular property, what I did was I told the owner, I was like, okay, you know what, I'll still buy the property from you, but there are two problems. One, I'm gonna have to pay for a title confirmation. And two, my money is now gonna be tied up for 3 to 4 months before I can do a cash out refi on this house, or really just a cash out on this house through the bank. And I don't want my money tied up that long. Normally I pay cash and then I'll go to a bank and I'll have it, I'll pull my money back out and I'll BRRRR the property. For those of you that don't know, that stands for, BRRRR is an acronym, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. So that's kind of my strategy. I used to be all cash. I'm not that way anymore. Now I will pull my money out. But in this case, I told him, look, my money's going to be tied up for months if I buy it the way that I was planning on buying it from you. So the only way I can do the deal now is I'll buy it from you for $25,000 instead of $30,000. But I'm going to owner finance it from you. So I will do, I think I did $4,000 down, maybe, it was $2,000 down. I'll give you $2,000 down, and then I will give you $1,000 a month until the property is paid off. This is going to be a zero interest loan. However, I did tell him that after I get the title confirmed through the title confirmation suit, then I would go ahead and pay off my balance. That way I don't have a ton of money tied up into the property. I can go ahead and start rehabbing it. I can go ahead and start doing everything that I need to do. And then when that title is perfectly clear, then I can go ahead and cash it out through a bank and move on. This turned out to be a great deal because when I sent all the paperwork to the attorney that was going to be handling the title confirmation suit for me, he found out that there was only one previous owner that could even give us any kind of issues. And so instead of going through the whole title confirmation suit, he reached out to this guy and he just said, hey, would you be willing to sign a quit claim deed on this property that you already lost a tax foreclosure years and years ago? We'll give you $300. And the previous owner was fine doing that. And so instead of the property being tied up for 3 to 4 months, it looks like it's going to all get closed out within the next week or two. It's actually going to rent out for $1,600 a month. So we'll have about $45,000 into a house that's going to rent out for $1,600 a month. It's unheard of. It's probably one of the best investments I've ever made. That, however, is not typical at all. What is typical, however, is the types of houses that I sell to other investors. I sell turnkey rental property. Here's an example of a property that I sold. The buyer ended up paying $65,000 total for this property. That included a rehab with $20,000 worth of repairs. So he paid $45,000 for the property, an extra $20,000 in repair, for an all-in cost of $65,000. And we have a tenant lined up for this property for either $900 or $950 a month. So typically I try to sell property at the 1.5% rule. So most people, they know the 1% rule. In Mississippi, we can typically do 1.5% rule, which means the rent will be 1.5% of whatever the purchase price is. A typical rule of thumb would be if I sold a house for $50,000, they should expect it to rent for at least $75 or $750 a month. That would be in accordance with the 1.5% rule. Here's another example of a property I sold for $48,000, and I told the owner or the buyer that they were going to have to pay an extra $12,000 to get the house rehabbed. Shortly after he bought it, he paid for the rehab in advance. I ended up finding a tenant that had a 5-bedroom HUD voucher. The house was only a 3-bedroom, but it also had a bonus living room, and it had a screened-in back porch that was it looked like it was going to be really easy to finish and turn into a bedroom. So I talked with the owner and rearranged his budget a little bit. We were able to stay within that $12,000 budget, but we converted the house into a 5-bedroom. And so it rents out for $1,400 a month. So he ended up spending $60,000 on a house that rents out for $1,400 a month. That's not typical, but it is possible. So anyway, if you are interested in buying turnkey real estate from me in Jackson, Mississippi, I would love to do like a ride along with you. If you want to drive out here, fly out here, I can show you what the town is like, and show you some opportunities. But either way, whether you do or do not, I hope that this video was informative for you. I hope you learned something about deeds, and I'll see you in the next video.